Hey, what's up? This is DJ Thunderous. I'm here with Babis from the awesome thrash band Dreamlord. How's it going, Babis?
Hey, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. You know, we heard about your new album and we figured we'd need to get an interview with you.
Absolutely.
So to start out, can you give everyone a history of the band, please?
Well, Dreamlord, we're a band from Athens, Greece. I guess history-wise, the band has two main periods. The first one starts back in the 90s, when me and our current guitar player, we formed the band when we were still back in high school and we had the big dreams of becoming the next Metallica or whatever. And we recorded over the years a lot of demos and did a lot of smaller underground shows. So it went for a lot of years like that, in the 90s and early 2000s. Unfortunately, that first period of the band, we were plagued with constant member changes, so we couldn't get a drummer to save our lives. Drummers came and went, and it's a difficult position to fill, right? And then people would find a job in another town, or they would have to go to the army because we have, this mandatory military service here in Greece after high school. So it's something everybody has to do.
Wow.
So there was a lot of that. Yeah. So there was that, and a lot of member changes that prevented us from taking that next step forward. So that led us to going into a hiatus for couple of years. Back in 2001, we came out of it 2005 just to record a mini CD with 7 songs from our previous demos, couple of shows, member changes, and basically we froze the band. And what happened is back in 2010, we found our current bass player, Chris, and we decided, since we had a bass player, we had a drummer at the time, so let's reactivate the band. And we started composing the songs. We had one last change back in 2013 when the previous drummer, Yanis, left, but we were able to fill his shoes really immediately, and so with current drummer Nick. So fingers crossed, we've had this current lineup for the last 7 years, and so basically the second period of the band starts in 2010, 2011. We started composing the songs for Disciples of War and basically entered the studio and recorded everything. So quite the adventure.
Yeah, I can imagine. And it's just to hear that, what you had to go through in the beginning and everything, and to struggle and to still hold on, and here we are now. That's awesome.
Yeah. The funny thing is that there were points when there wasn't even a band, maybe, except in our heads. But somehow we were able to keep going with it. And here we are.
There you go. So where did you get the band name Dreamlord? Where did that come from?
Well, as the band formed and I was trying to find a cool name for it, I just so happened to read a bit of lore about the Sandman, who is also mentioned as the Dreamlord. So that was one stimulus, and the other one was that right about that time, a very famous Greek band, Septic Flesh, recorded and had recorded a song named Morpheus, the Dreamlord. Yep. Me seeing it in 2 different spots, the name, I thought, this is karma. That's the one. And basically that's how we came about it.
Oh, that's awesome. Who writes your music and your lyrics?
Well, the lyrics are written by me so far. The other guys are just dipping their toes now in the process. The music is more everybody contributes. So in one instance, me bringing a song and that's it, and we just have to fine tune it. In other cases, it might be the other guitarist or the bass player, or even mashing riffs that different people bring together and create the song, or even through a jam. It's quite the democratic process, and I find it much, much more creative this way.
That is a very good way to do it. Now, when you're writing your lyrics, do you have some triggers, though, for your lyrics or a theme that you like to stick with?
Well, usually our lyrics revolve around things that we experience in our everyday lives, like politics and the news, things that happen around us. We have a very specific opinion about how greed and things like that can fuel wars and conflicts and animosity between people and basically to serve other interests. So for us, it's basically all the source comes from the news that we read, but really it can't be anything. It could be anything. I mean, it could be a movie that gets you thinking or something you see on TV that might spark something and give you an idea.
That's cool.
At least that was the process in the first few songs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, who are some of your personal musical influences, and what got you into thrash music?
Personally, I would say my biggest influences come from the San Francisco Bay Area thrash. So, Metallica, obviously, Exodus, all these great bands. When I first grabbed the guitar, my aspiration was to be James Hetfield, right? So, that was the original thing. Of course, as we grow older, more things come into the fold. So, I love bands I love are Creator and Sepultura. Lots of different influences. Paradise Lost, even though they're not a thrash band. So,
hey,
lots of different stuff. Yeah.
That's cool. Now, what are some of the band influences?
Yeah. The current group we're very much consistently, we like the same things, and that's another encouraging thing. A common favorite band is Testament, Megadeth, Havoc from the newer generation of thrash bands, or Evil, the UK great thrash band. So yeah, it's a good thing that we have a lot of common influences, but at the same time, everybody has their own things they like. I mean, from Accept to Iron Maiden to classic rock to you name it. Our bass player, among others, can listen to a lot of jazz and fusion. So all those musical things find their way into our music. All these influences.
That's cool. So how do you feel the metal scene is like normally in Greece?
Well, whenever we don't have a pandemic around, the scene is very active in Greece. I mean, Greece always has had a lot of great bands. I mean, the obvious big two are Rotting Christ and Septic Flesh, right?
Oh yeah.
But in the more recent years, you hear many more great bands coming out. For example, we have Suicidal Angels more recently, and there are amazing bands that come all the time. Firewind, Diviner, and Full House Brew Crew, 649. I mean, these are great bands of different genres, which are really cool. And so, there's a lot of activity, a lot of shows. There's a great energy from the crowd. So, it's a really cool area to be in.
I can imagine. I guess that it sounds like everybody supports everyone too, musically.
Yeah. Absolutely. There is a strong sense of scene. There is a scene, and there is a great support, and from the labels and the venues, promoters, and metal never went away in Greece. I mean, it's always been a very strong scene and a very favorite music. So it's a great thing.
That's very cool. All right, we're going to take a break here and give everyone a taste of Dreamlord. Here's Humanity Enslaved. Crank it up.
profoundly unjust, perpetuating the tyranny of the few at the expense of the masses. The governments are their puppets, the media their voice, and the simple people stuck in a corner, helpless.
That was Humanity Enslaved, and that's off the new album Disciples of War, correct?
Correct. Yes. Humanity Enslaved is the fourth track of our album, Disciples of War.
I just said
glad you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, we like
glad
it a
you
lot.
enjoyed it.
Yep, and I'm sure everybody is going to enjoy this album.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
So what was the process in making that album? You know, was it difficult for you guys to make your choices, or, you know, how did it go?
Well, to tell you the truth, we basically started writing the songs and working on them, and once and basically we stopped at number 10. There were some ideas that didn't come to fruition, and that were songs that were discarded because we didn't feel they were strong enough. Basically, we took our time to fine tune the songs and get them to a point where we felt that, okay, this is as far as we need to go, and this is a strong song. And the whole idea was to come up with an album that doesn't have any fillers in it. Mm-hmm. That each song can stand on its own. And from the responses I've been getting over the last couple of months, I think it has worked in the sense that different people tell me that a different song is their favorite off the album. It's not, you know, obviously there are 2-3 songs that stand out, but I've had people tell me that, oh, this is my favorite song. And I'm like, really? I mean, because you're expecting certain other songs to stand out, but everybody has, all the songs seem to have an go into an audience. So it's a great thing.
That is cool. I mean,
yeah,
a 10-track album is quite a large album, and I can imagine, you know, you guys making those choices. You did state that you had other tracks written. Now, do you keep those tracks like in archive somewhere to go back to them, or you just get rid of them?
The couple of tracks we did discard basically were discarded for good. I think we must have kept like one riff somewhere. So we're digging through the through the riffs now, because since the whole planet has a lot of time on their hands, so we thought, let's write some new songs. So, you know, maybe some of these riffs will pop up in the future and tweak them a bit, make them a bit more interesting.
Well, I bet you after this album, you know, you guys can come right up with another album. We don't mind.
Yeah, we'll tour both of them probably all together. I mean,
yeah, looking forward. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to check out another track off the new Disciples of War album. Here's Aggressive Denial. Crank it up. I know I just said it before, that was Aggressive Denial. Where did you get the name for that track? Obviously, you could listen to it and get it, but the Aggressive Denial, what is the meaning of that?
it's all about standing up for your rights, for your freedom, for your rights, for your own personal beliefs. I mean, the whole song revolves around, um, without wanting to go into deep conspiracy theory level, I mean, it's about people that make choices on the lives of billions of people, right?
Yep.
And with no accountability sometimes. So it's about actively denying what we think affects our own sense of well-being and freedom of choice. That's the best explanation I can offer at this time, I think.
Now you're a good vocalist. Is it tough to sing thrash?
Thank you. It's not as tough as doing other types of metal or other styles of music, for sure. I'm not like the greatest singer that ever lived, but thrash comes naturally to me. So yeah, I guess I found a style that works, a bit of a raspiness and a bit of aggression, and it works. And we didn't want to do growling vocals. That's another thing, because our influences go back to another different era of metal. We wanted to keep a little bit of that feeling into the vocals too. So
you're
no growling and all that.
You're keeping it Dreamlord and not coming up with a different concept otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, I can't do growling, so I don't know how that works.
That was
that would work.
That was my next question. Can you growl for us, please?
That's gonna be a bit of a challenge. No, I don't think I can. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can't either, so don't worry about it.
All right, good to know. I'm not alone on that.
Yeah, exactly. So who does your artwork for your album?
The artwork for Disciples of War was done by a Greek artist. His name is Alan Fall, and he works for Digital Grief Design. That's the company that he owns, actually. Mm-hmm. So we had seen he has worked with other bands in the scene here, and we loved what he did with them. So it was a no-brainer. We basically contacted him first before even the album was finished, before the recordings were even finished. I mean, I think we were halfway through the recordings when we actually contacted him. We didn't have an idea about what we wanted the cover to look like, to tell you the truth. So everybody had some inkling of the overall feeling, and theme, but not precisely. So we contacted him, and he told me, just send me the lyrics, send me a little memo of what each song's about, and I can come up with something. And that's how we did it. And a couple of days later, he sent me the first draft, and it was the cover. I mean, it was spot on. He asked me, would you like me to show you something else? And I was like, nope. That's perfect.
That's
just
cool.
Make it better and better, and that's basically how it ended up. And yeah, it was great because we had the cover and all the artwork really ready before even the recordings were done. So that was one thing less to worry about.
Yeah, I know, because it gets expensive after a while if you keep having to change it, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Let's check out the last track here. Here's Disciples of War. Crank it up.
Disciples of
That's our favorite after we listen to the album. See, you said everyone has their favorites. Well, that's one of our favorites, Disciples of War, and I just think it's an amazing track.
It's one of my favorites too, to tell you the truth, because it's just pure energy right off the gate.
Really cool. So what's it like to be Dreamlord when you're on stage?
It's fun. I would not change it for the world, to tell you the truth. Playing live is what it's all about, I think. And we love being on stage. And so, we just try to have fun with it. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of aggressiveness. And, if we're able to get the crowd going is also, it makes for an even better show. So it's kind of a back and forth. So, just playing live is amazing. And we try to play as many concerts as we can. So we're reaching a lot this time of the year with the corona and all that,
Yeah. I know you've shared the stage with some pretty cool bands. Can you tell us about some of them?
Well, the most famous that would be Annihilator last November, during their European tour, and the show they did in Athens back in November 15th. We opened for Annihilator. It was a great experience. Really was the first concert that we did in such a high level. I mean, we've done concerts with a lot of cooler bands, but in a smaller league, in more than close to our league. So playing for Annihilator was a great, great experience. Just the whole experience of observing the production and how a band of that caliber operates was amazing. And, to just be able to see this firsthand was absolutely cool. And the coolest part was that we were able to present ourselves and our music in front of a larger audience. So, and that really helped us, especially with the album being released 1 month after that concert. I mean, it created a really good buzz.
That's
cool. So yeah, I think that was the best experience I can remember.
Do you have any epic moments when you've been on stage of anything like blowing up or, something breaking, somebody falling off stage, anything like that?
No, really, not really. I mean, no, things have been pretty uneventful in our concerts so far, so thankfully.
Oh, that's good.
So yeah, no, I don't think I have such a story, unfortunately.
Oh, well, maybe when you down the road, you can create one, right?
I'll probably do that. Yeah.
All right. Where in the world would you want to play, and with who and why?
That's a really cool question. First of all, I would love to play at Wacken in Germany.
Yes.
In the festival. That would be my pinnacle, concert wise. As far as with who, there are a lot of answers to that question. I mean, my teenager self would say, "Oh, Metallica," and yeah, obviously, if that ever was to happen, that would be an amazing experience. But I would love to have shared the stage with Motorhead. That won't happen ever, unfortunately. Havoc and Evil are two bands that I would love to share a stage with because the pure energy and quality of their music is stunning. So yeah, I would say Havoc and Evil.
That would be a cool concert, actually. Havoc and Evil and Dreamlord. Hell yeah, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you're listening to this, get in touch with us.
Okay, Havoc. Calling Havoc.
Go.
All right. Do you have any new projects you guys are working on besides coming out with maybe a new album or anything? Do you have any videos in mind or?
We were planning to just play concerts to promote the album. We were just barely able to do the release party, and then the whole planet stopped spinning. So we're in a bit of a limbo. So what's going on for the moment is that each one of us is writing their own ideas and songs for the new album. So we thought we'd just make the best use of the downtime and, just come up with a new album whenever things get back to normal. So, yeah, not really in the sense of other side projects or something like that. Just writing music and concentrating on creating, cool songs and create a new album.
That's still cool, though. At least you guys can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Where can you be reached? Go ahead. It's okay.
No. Yeah, well, I was just about to say that, there's not a lot of things to do in these, so far in this year with all these things happening. And so, yeah, why just make us of time,
True. Maybe you guys can make like a concert on Zoom and have everybody tune in or something.
Oh, that would be cool. I don't know how many people would tune in for that.
I bet you quite a few. I bet you have fans out there. I believe so, yeah.
Ah, that's great to know. That's great to hear.
I've been seeing a lot of bands have been doing like live concerts and people were giving them like tips and donations.
Yeah.
It's really cool,
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah.
It's a great way of supporting bands because it's for bands playing live and touring, it's their livelihood. So when the whole business shuts down, the business of touring and live music, I mean, it creates a survival issue for
exactly, and
not just the bands, but for engineers, for the tech people, backline people, the promoters. It's really difficult.
Yes, it is. Where can you be reached?
It's a cool way.
Yeah. Where can you?
We're on Facebook.
Yep.
So we're on Facebook. Yeah. Facebook.com/Dreamlord. We have our official website as well. www.dreamlord.gr, not .com, GR for Greece. We have an official channel on YouTube where we always try to upload cool stuff, videos from our concerts and all that. And the Twitter account, so just Google Dreamlord and it should pop up right there. And we also have for people who might be interested in acquiring Disciples of War on digital form. So far we also have our Bandcamp store. So again, you can look up Dreamlord at Bandcamp, and you will see our official profile there.
That's cool. Now, do you know when the album will be able to be shipped, or not yet because of everything?
So far through Bandcamp, we're offering just the digital option.
Okay.
We are looking into it with our label for how we can do the physical copies shipping. I'm expecting that as most countries are now exiting the lockdown phase, it should become less complicated to ship CDs and merch around. So that should help us start the process for that slowly.
Well, hopefully it picks up.
CDs and all that.
Yeah, hopefully it picks up for everyone, and I wish I wish everyone the best, and I hope concerts come back and everybody can just go out and headbang.
Let's hope so, because already it's been too long, and it's just a weird time, for the whole planet has stopped, and everybody doesn't know what to do, right? And music is one of these things that can definitely help people through rough times, and I know it has helped me over the years. So, the sooner we are able to get out of this situation and make music and listen and enjoy to music again, the better, I think.
Hell yeah. Can't wait for that for everyone.
Absolutely.
Is there anyone that you want to give a shout out to out there? Anybody special? Anyone that, you're endorsed by, or your label, or anyone?
Well, massive shout out to our label, Worst Records, for believing in us and supporting us in the production and the release of the album. I want to send a massive shout out to, on a personal level, to Ola Englund, who's the founder of Solar Guitars. I'm endorsed by Solar Guitars. So huge shout out to Ola Englund and the Solar Guitars family. And to each and everybody out there who enjoys our music, you are cool. You are officially our favorite people, and we hope that once this whole mess ends, we can meet up close and enjoy some music together.
Yes.
Massive shout out to you guys too for having us. Thank you so much for the hospitality.
Thank you, and right back at you. You guys are an awesome band. And you're welcome back here anytime. Anyone can come here and also request Dreamlord. Just tell them to come to MetalDevastationRadio.com and tune in and ask for Dreamlord.
Absolutely. Please do that.
All right. Could you do a shout out for the radio station, please?
Absolutely. This is Babis from Dreamlord. You're tuned in to the Thunderhead show on MetalDevastationRadio.com, where metal reigns supreme.
Awesome. Thank you so much.